What's up? So they would be really good at, just checking in with me. How's my heart doing? How am I doing? And there's that element that I think of when I think of mentorship.
Have you ever imagined what a Tori Kelly and Andrea Bocelli collaboration would be like? What happened behind the scenes of this special performance? And why did Tori Kelly call it an unforgettable experience? Let's discover the hidden truth in The Journey, a music special from Andrea Bocelli, the music film that is causing a stir and is about to hit the big screen. Why Andrea Bocelli invited Tori Kelly? The combination of Andrea Bocelli's classical tenor voice and Tori Kelly's soulful pop voice is more than just a duet. It is a meeting of two artists with a shared spiritual faith, creating a timeless musical experience. A spiritual journey that is fully realized in the special project called The Journey. When he embarked on The Journey, Bocelli was not simply looking for talented artists, but for people who understood the depth of his faith. Artists for whom music is not just a performance, but a prayer. In a touching moment in the program, Bocelli said, "Music is a gift from God. Every time I sing, I give thanks for it." It is this affirmation that guides the entire project, and why he invited Tori Kelly, a Christian artist who grew up in church music, to join him on the journey. Tori Kelly, a two-time Grammy winner in the gospel category, brings with her not only exceptional vocal technique, but also a strong inner depth rooted in her abiding faith. Those who have heard her perform songs such as Never Alone and Psalm 42 can feel the spiritual power in her voice, an element that makes her the perfect choice for this project. Although The Journey marks the first time they have officially collaborated on a global release, Bocelli and Kelly have performed together before, a testament to their musical harmony and mutual respect in their professional lives. At the 2015 MTV Europe Music Awards, they wowed the audience with their performance of Just Give Me a Reason, a song that might not have been Bocelli's forte but was performed with great emotion alongside the young Kelly. Then, in 2016, they continued to make their mark when they performed The Prayer together, the classic duet that is associated with the names of Bocelli and Celine Dion. Every time they sang together, the audience witnessed the magical blend of two seemingly opposite styles. One side is the semi-classical sound of Italy, the other side is modern American soul music. But both are united by the core element, the spirit of prayer and music. The Journey is not an ordinary musical film. It is Bocelli's tribute to his own spiritual journey, a journey of hundreds of kilometers on horseback along the historic pilgrimage route, Via Francigena, starting from Rome and passing through the sacred lands of Italy. During the trip, he and his wife, Bernacca Berti, stopped at many ancient places such as chapels, monasteries, squares to meet and perform with guest artists of similar spirit. Tori Kelly was one of them, and she didn't just come to sing. She brought with her a piece of the faith of a younger generation, an emotional connection between the classical and the contemporary, between European Catholic tradition and the vibrancy of modern American worship music. When she and Bocelli sang Hallelujah together, in the sacred grounds of the San Galgano Abbey, a roofless Gothic structure in the middle of peaceful Tuscany, what the audience felt was not just music, but that performance, with its delicate harmonies of English and Italian, staged without fanfare but rich with emotion, became a highlight of the entire musical film. In the quiet space, the two voices, one experienced, one youthful and passionate, merged like two small streams merging into a single flow of light and hope. The Trinity Broadcasting Network, TBN program, not only captures the performances, but also captures the emotional depth of conversations between Bocelli and his collaborators. According to some reporters who had access to the backstage area, the atmosphere was not always light. Some of the exchanges were somewhat tense because of Bocelli's perfectionism, especially when it came to auditions, mixing, and editing. But that also shows how much he values the artistic quality and sacredness of this project. It is this seriousness that makes artists like Tori Kelly feel appreciated and willing to put their hearts into expressing what is most authentic from their souls. In addition to Kelly, The Journey features renowned Christian artists such as Michael W. Smith, Torrin Wells, and Katherine Jenkins, each representing a different genre and faith, but all working together to highlight the overarching message: let the music guide you back to what matters most. A hallelujah that is not. It's a song, Leonard Cohen's Hallelujah is already a deeply theological song, not in the dogmatic sense, but in the sense of reflecting on human life through the lens of faith, brokenness and hope. Bocelli and Kelly's version not only retains that spirit, but elevates it to a new level of meaning, a sacred union of two worlds, classical and modern, male and female, Italian and American, tradition and innovation. When the final notes ring out in the ancient landscape of San Galgano, the audience doesn't just hear music, they feel something moving inside, and that is the greatest achievement of this collaboration. With their shared faith, artistic vision, and history of collaboration, Andrea Bocelli and Tori Kelly have created a strong foundation for their spiritual and musical connection. But it was their performance of Hallelujah at the San Galgano Monastery, a sacred space between nature and history, that truly deepened their artistic bond. So what made this collaboration such a striking and moving moment? Artistic connection. On the occasion of Andrea Bocelli and Tori Kelly's performance of Leonard Cohen's Hallelujah in the Abbey of San Galgano in Italy, the song became the focal point of an extraordinary creative event. The old Italian monastery, which featured an open-air roof and ancient stone walls, served as a breathtaking backdrop for a performance that highlighted the exceptional synergy that exists between these two vocal powerhouses. There was a wonderful verbal interaction that was performed during the performance, which brought depth to the piece that was already impressive. In the beginning, Kelly gave the first line in English, and her clear and sharp voice was able to echo throughout the monastery, with an extraordinary degree of clarity. After that, Bocelli took over for the second verse, singing in his native Italian. This added a fresh dimension to Cohen's words, which have stood the test of many years. While they were performing the song, they were flanked by other musicians and backup singers, who provided a gentle accompaniment. This ensured that the attention stayed on the vocals that were interweaving with one another. The moment when their voices came together during the chorus produced a seamless harmony that was unaffected by the linguistic hurdles that existed between them. Using this multilingual technique, the music that was already recognizable was turned into something completely new, and it allowed listeners to hear the lyrics from a variety of cultural viewpoints. The performance's emotional resonance was amplified by the historic environment in which it was presented. The spiritual undertones of Hallelujah grew more prominent as their voices bounced off the old Italian architecture that was all around them. This concert carried a unique meaning for Bocelli, since it connected musical expression with spiritual travel. This was in the context of Bocelli's greater trip down the pilgrim's path of the Via Francigena. Certainly, the response from the crowd provided evidence that the performance had an emotional impact. The audience members expressed their admiration for the duet by describing it as two beautiful souls singing so beautifully together, and remarking that they could listen to Andrea Bocelli all day. Listeners loved the beautiful duet in a beautiful setting that was performed, and it was evident that the performance impacted them. It is of interest to note that this was not Kelly's initial encounter with the song Hallelujah. Previously, she had covered the song for the soundtrack of the animated film Sing, that was released in 2016, and she also sang it at the In Memoriam section that was held at the Primetime Emmy Awards. Additionally, she sang it alongside Louis Fonsi during the Hand in Hand, a benefit for hurricane relief telethon that took place. Furthermore, according to Bocelli, the song was highly congruent with the spiritual ideas that were discussed during the entirety of the Journey Music Spectacular. It was the perfect harmony in each song, the look in each other's eyes when singing together, and the unspoken understanding between the two artists showed that their artistic connection went beyond a normal performance. It was a spiritual resonance. But what makes this artistic relationship so special, even though they come from different cultures and musical styles? Perhaps, to better understand the depth of that connection, we need to listen to Tori Kelly, Andrea Bocelli's co-performer, share her impressions during the process of working with him. So what made her admire Bocelli not only for his voice, but also for his approach to music? And behind that legendary voice, what is special about Andrea Bocelli and the creative process that makes Tori feel so deeply inspired? Kelly reveals about Andrea Bocelli. Tori Kelly was able to get unique insights into Andrea Bocelli's artistic approach during the course of their partnership. These insights are something that very few people outside of Bocelli's tight circle have seen. The experience of working beside the Italian maestro exposed facets of the singer's creative process that have contributed to his legendary stature in the world of music. The singer was nominated for a Grammy. In many behind-the-scenes moments that were caught during the production of The Journey, Kelly showed a tremendous regard for Bocelli's artistic sense. She noted the humbling sensation of sharing a microphone with someone whose voice has characterized classical crossover music for decades. even though she had already achieved a great deal in her distinguished career. Working with Andrea is unlike any other collaboration I've experienced, Kelly noted, when the project was in progress. His ability to communicate emotion transcends language barrier. Nevertheless, Kelly was able to uncover Bocelli's real kindness and collaborative nature, which she found hidden underneath his towering artistic stature. Despite the fact that their musical backgrounds are so different from one another, he was able to make room for her unique vocal technique, while still preserving the integrity of their common goal for Hallelujah. From the very beginning, Kelly was able to witness Bocelli's meticulous preparation process. Regardless of the fact that he has decades of expertise, he tackles each performance with unyielding discipline and a painstaking attention to detail. In particular, she made a point to mention how Bocelli's spirituality influences the artistic choices he makes. His conviction that music is a gift from God helps to influence his interpretation of each song, and this is especially clear in the work that they have done on Hallelujah. According to Kelly, the great emotional resonance that his performances continually attain can be attributed to the fundamental spiritual basis that he possesses. A major shift occurred in Kelly's attitude to her own artistic practice as a result of the cooperation. She was able to observe Bocelli's unhurried pursuit of creative perfection, which stands in stark contrast to the sometimes rushed production timelines that are prevalent in the modern music industry. There's something transformative about singing in that historic abbey, Kelly said in her reflection. Andrea taught me to let the space become part of the music. Her understanding for the ways in which physical circumstances impact musical expression seems to have been enhanced as a result of the encounter. Subsequently, Kelly has discussed the possibility of incorporating these insights into her performances, intending to locate settings that enhance rather than just contain musical moments. So, in addition to their breathtaking duet, Kelly's revelations about Bocelli's creative approach provide audiences with valuable context for understanding the artistic depth that lies behind their performance of Hallelujah. This collaboration is not only a meeting of voices, but it also represents the sharing of artistic philosophy. Through Tori Kelly's heartfelt narration, the audience can somewhat imagine that Andrea Bocelli is not only a musical icon, but also a dedicated artist with inspiring creative depth. But is there anything hidden behind that voice that audiences rarely have the opportunity to witness on stage? The answer lies in The Journey, a unique documentary that captures Bocelli's everyday moments, personal thoughts and spiritual journey that have rarely been revealed before. So what makes this film a rare and precious slice of his musical portrait? A rare side of Andrea Bocelli. The Journey, a music special from Andrea Bocelli, will be released in theaters exclusively at the beginning of April. This special will provide viewers with an unmatched opportunity to see the spiritual side of the legendary tenor. This film, which was created by TBN, highlights aspects of Bocelli's character that his fans throughout the world have rarely seen before. Bocelli and his wife Veronica embarked on an unprecedented equestrian excursion over Italy's famous Via Francigena, almost 200 miles in length. This endeavor was inspired by the isolation that the epidemic brought about. This historic path, which has been used by pilgrims for centuries, extends from Rome to Lajatico, which is Bocelli's local neighborhood. Because the tenor, who is 64 years old and has been riding horses since he was 7 years old, places a unique value on this means of transportation. According to me, the horse served not only as a mode of transportation, but also as a kind of companion. Since I've been doing it for a very long time, it's something that I'm extremely comfortable with, Bocelli remarked. His wife, on the other hand, tackled the equestrian task with some apprehension, acknowledging that it was not easy. It is with a wonderful blessing from Pope Francis himself that the voyage first gets underway. This private experience, which Bocelli referred to as one of the most extraordinary, most beautiful moments, served as the foundation for their journey toward spiritual enlightenment. In a similar vein, the movie has heartwarming family moments, such as cameos by Matteo and Virginia Bocelli, who are Bocelli's children. In a particularly moving scene, Virginia is joined by her father in a church that is devoid of people, and he serenades her with a rendition of Ave Maria that he composed just for her. Subsequently, Matteo expresses his gratitude to his father by reading him a letter of praise. It's interesting to note that none of the children rode horses throughout the filming, since they both have an allergy to horses. Throughout this musical journey, Bocelli delves into important topics such as prayer, forgiveness, hope, and performances are included in the video that take place in stunning historic settings located all across the Italian countryside.
Not only does Bocelli work with Tori Kelly, but he also collaborates with a large number of other, exceptionally talented musicians, such as Michael W. Smith, two cellos Torrin Wells, Taya, Catherine Jenkins, and Clara Barbier. Bocelli's answer to the isolation caused by the epidemic is essentially a reconnection via music and religion, and the film serves as his response to that isolation. Bocelli makes the statement that every talent is a gift from the heavens, which serves to make the world a more beautiful place. What do you think about the way Andrea Bocelli combines music with a spiritual journey in the journey? Can music be a bridge for people to overcome isolation and find meaning in life? Please share your thoughts in the comments section below. We would love to hear from you, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more interesting updates. Thank you and see you in the next video.